Hello everybody, this is my Fleischmann collection. It's taken me almost 50 years to acquire, and believe it or not, there's still quite a few missing, and there's also a few duplicates that I use for spares. Hopefully one day we'll renovate. If we start with the small ones, this is a model 105-1, which is this little candlestick engine, lovely little thing. There's also a -0 which doesn't have a whistle. Quite frankly, I think I can cope with having just one of those. There's also, this is a 120/1, one of the last ones made with the pink bases. As you see, I've got two of those, but they're both in pretty awful condition. There's also a 120/2, which is basically the small engine on this larger base, slightly larger base, so not with this nice big fat boiler. This particular engine is either my second or my third engine ever. It was a Christmas gift from my grandparents, so I'm very soft on it. It goes like the stink, absolutely mad. I did have to file open the hole here a little bit, sorry we haven't got very good light, just to allow to get a mammoth burner in, which really did quite a good job for with such a small engine. And as a result, I did sort of get it very sooty, and then when I polished it and cleaned it, off came the bluing, which is a bit of a shame, but never mind. Now working up the numbers again, so we see we've got this 120/4, 121/3 is this very interesting overhead engine, which used to belong to Jack, aka Blackjack, for a member. It does have some mammoth wheels, but other than that it's very well loved, so that's waiting for some proper TLC. Not going to be messed about with that until I can do the job properly. Now there's also a 122/2, so that's a small boiler with this slightly more elaborate engine on a bit of a raised base. So 122 seems to be this raised based design, and for some reason they just call it -3 for this configuration. This is a very popular configuration. There's a few members had one of these as their first toy. I know, and they love it very well. This one I haven't bothered running it. It's still pretty minty, so we'll keep it. But it's worth noting I do have some spares here of both of those other two engines, so you might find I fixed that. This one is just stripped down, ready for work. It leaks and things like that, so that one's beaten to God knows what, so not very good. Now again, following the 122 pattern, if we go up the next size, the 122/4 is quite a large beast. It's got this much larger boiler. And these are quite significant things, and they go like the clappers, because that's a lot of boiler for not a lot of cylinder. Now this is the one I had modified. I put a regulator on it here. I had a regulator fitted, I should say, and very happy I am with that too. This is how it should come with no regulator. So this is sort of the base model giant boiler engine. And if we go up to the next stage, the 125/4, so the 125 configuration engine is this. It's a little bit bigger. So this is the engine consist part. Same size boiler, but with literally bells and whistles on it, because it's got the elaborate safety valve, it's got a pressure gauge, it's got a balcony, and there should be a little ladder there, a ladder that looks a bit like this one in the on the next size up, which is the 135/2, so completely different engine. This is absolutely massive, so really big thing. See, it's hugely bigger than a big thing, which is a lot bigger than a sensible size thing, which is a lot bigger than a small thing. These are very desirable. People really like to have one of these, and they do run extremely well. There's lots of videos on the internet of those. Now, to round off my collection, I've got a 155/1, which is the small steamroller. I really like this. It's ever so cute. It looks quite cute next to mammoths, which look a bit chunky and overweight in comparison. You'll notice the firebox comes right underneath the boiler, so you can get a lot of heat in there. So it can be quite a bit of a demon. There is a larger machine called a 155/2. I guess that's the one thing I'm still really desire, but it's quite tricky. So that's a quick summation. So I've got quite a few odd bits and pieces that I've acquired in order to help me fix some of these, and some of these bits have actually ended up on the quality engines, we'll call them, the ones that are complete. Not all of those came complete, and there's a total of 16 models, and each model has about 5 or 6 date variations where they just sort of decide whether to change the colour of the boiler or change the fireboxes or whatever. Here's an example. That's an older style firebox with just a pressed out vent, and then the newer ones have these little nice plated little ventilators. That has the ventilators, but for some reason they're painted. Not all of the chimneys will be correct. That will be a Wellesco chimney with a characteristic nickel return on the top. Other than that, I think I've got enough, and I probably don't need quite so many fixers-uppers, particularly some of them in quite a state. So I hope you enjoyed that. That's a quick jaunt through the very strange numbering system of Fleischmann and the enormous number of variations that they produced in a fairly modular manner. Thank you very much.